Okay, so that was my PowerPoint. Thank you. I'm done now. No, you did a great job introducing me. Thank you so much, you guys, and thank you very much for the opportunity. As we talked about, I am Rhonda Calder-Dixon. My passion is helping families and businesses build their financial confidence and be able to live the life that they want to instead of the life they need to, and be able to leave a legacy for what's important for them. I have been in the business for, I just said that. I have been in the business for over 20 years. I worked for a large financial institution, did very well, loved my career with them, but I was finding with being in the leadership side of it, I was missing the passion that I had for people and businesses and just working one-on-one with them. So I've branched out on my own, and I take both the businesses and put them together so that we get a holistic overview and a holistic outcome of all of it. So when you're sitting and you're looking and you're thinking about yourself, have you ever thought about, am I making the right financial decisions? I think most of us in this room have ever gotten to that point at some time, and that's where I kind of work from. That's my starting part is, my jump off is, what is your financial position right now? How are you feeling about it? Let's sit down and let's talk about it. So with that question, people lots of times don't make that decision to start to make a plan, start to work with people because they're really afraid of having that conversation. And that fear just grows and grows and grows, and then we don't get the opportunity to move into our success and our planning. So one of the questions I look at, and I talk to clients, and we talk about is like, could I be doing something different with my finances? The answer to that is absolutely. But why would we do something different if we'd never been taught it? So when we look back to our history with school, or even today in school, or look at our families and stuff like that, we really weren't taught the basics about finance. We weren't taught anything about finance. So, it's an area that's unknown to people, but it's also an area that's pretty scary sometimes. So that's where I always sort of peel it back, and I say to people all the time, you know what, you're not alone in that decision. You're not alone in that feeling. Those are all real gut root feelings. So how do we now break ourselves out of that? How do we grow from that? And how do we overcome that feeling of fear? Because almost everybody that I've met and I've talked to, once we start to build a relationship, because that's the foundation of what I do, is building that relationship. I don't expect to sit with someone and they open right up to me. So as we build that relationship, everything boils back to that core fear of, am I doing the right thing? So when we look at, talked about why I do what I do, those are my exact reasons. My passion for people, my passion for life, my passion for businesses, and I just generally want people to be happy in life and to be able to go through life doing what they enjoy and not having to be thinking every step of the way, is this right for me to do, or should I be able to do this trip? Well, I have to use my credit cards to use the trip. Or, you know what, I need to go to Starbucks today, but I just don't have that $6. Or even as, basic food. People have to make that decision of, I can't go to the grocery store today. And I mean, how heartbreaking is that? So making the right decisions and being able to go through it builds that confidence in you and that ability to move forward. So that's why I do it. It's a love, it's a passion. I talked about my experience. I've been on the business sides, I've been on the personal sides, I've been on, the insurance sides of it. I have done everything from real estate to right up to end of life planning and paying out and just getting them on the right track. So the truth, people don't fail in financially because they're irresponsible. People don't go out and wake up one morning and say, well, I'm just going to spend all my money. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be responsible today. People fail because we don't know how to fix where we are, or we don't even know where to start on that. The truth on that We struggle because no one ever showed us. And we talked about that earlier. You know, when you look back, we weren't taught that piece of it. So I take a lot of time educating people and advising them on which ways to go and what the right thing to do. So once you've made that decision of you want to start to work with your finances, change things, buy that house, renew that mortgage, everything starts to change. Your waters start to sort of calm and slow down. You know, the horses stop bucking. They're out in the field just sort of calm and looking at things. And that's where I want to get people to. So what I build two businesses, as I talked about. I have a mortgage side and I have a financial side. They can run separately. I find that if they run separately, that you really don't get as far ahead as you want to. You might have to start on the financial side and then work into the mortgage side, but I'll get you to where your goals are. So mortgage consulting, what I do there, it's for people that are buying homes, people that are looking to do debt consolidations, renovations. We got renewals coming up. A lot of people will just go into a bank and sign the renewal because they've dealt with that bank forever. Sometimes that costs you money doing that. Not always, but sometimes it does. It's not always the best decision. So I always advise people, before you go and sign that document, let's sit down and have a look and see how I can help you if there's something different. If it is the right decision for you, absolutely, I'm going to send you back to your bank and you're going to sign those documents there. I do a lot of reverse mortgages. You know, we get to a stage in our life where, you know, one of our biggest assets is our home. And we may want to stay in our home, but we don't always have the cash flow that we want to do the traveling and everything else. So I talk to people about the benefits of a reverse mortgage and how it works. And, you know, a lot of people think, well, if I get a reverse mortgage, they're taking my whole house. I lose my house. You really don't. It's no different than having a mortgage on your house, or it's no different than having a line of credit on your house. The difference that gives people a lot of peace of mind is you don't have to pay that back if you don't want to. You can make payments on it. It gives you that flexibility. And it's a maximum of 50% of your home. And you don't have to take that either. So that's a myth that's out there that I kind of work through to help people have that cash flow and just breathe with relief. Financial consultant, what I do there is I talk to people about their protection plan. You know, what do you have in place for the what ifs that happen in our world? You know, insurances, investments, educational plans for your children. So are we set up properly for that? And how does that work? And what are the different options in that? Because there's, again, a whole host of different areas that you can dive into, and baby steps is going to get us where we need to go. Core truth about this. So keeping life moving forward, no matter what happens, that's our core truth. Don't stop if you hit those roadblocks. Just stay pushing yourself through them. Get the help you need. Talk to someone, because it's okay. Life happens, and we just need that guidance every so often. So let's make this a little bit of fun. I want you guys to shout out the answers. Gail, can you do me a favor and write down who gets the answers, the correct answer first? And I didn't bring my prizes because, you know, they're at home on the counter, but I will get them. Life happens, okay? I will get them to you. So if I were to ask you, most Canadians renew their mortgage without exploring any of their options.
True.
Okay, that was
Me.
Laura. That's good. And that's absolutely true. We just talked a little bit about that, so I'm not going to react that. But that is really what happens. Most people will just sign away. So that costs thousands of dollars sometimes when you do that. Yep. So here's a little bit of a thinker question. So what protects your family most?
Insurance. Savings. Insurance for sure. Insurance.
It is insurance. Who said insurance first? Yeah, it is insurance. Because then you don't have to rely on your savings when that what if happens. You know, the critical illness, the life insurance, you know.
I call them when the shit hits the fan moments.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the correct answer is insurance, 100%. Because that protects your biggest assets and the ones you love the most when stuff does fly.
We'll get you converted.
Yeah. So what builds wealth? Savings or investing?
Investing. Allison.
Allison, thank you. I'm so good with names. Have you noticed that? It'll take me a bit. Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Did you say you are?
I can't remember. So yes, investing is absolutely what builds our wealth the most, because savings, you can put it in a savings account, and if you don't know how to invest it properly, it's not going to work for you. So has anybody heard the rule of 72?
Yes.
Okay, so what the rule of 72, thank you, Anna. So the rule of 72 is basically how long it's going to take your money to grow in whatever you're investing it in. So if you're investing in an account that's only getting you maybe 2%, and that's pretty good when you look at, you know, what the financial institutions are doing, unless it's a promo, it's going to take you 36 years to double that money. If you're investing in an investment, and I'm being cautious and pretty low on what I'm quoting here, but if you're investing in an investment that's 8%, it's going to take you 9 years to double that money. I work with some companies that even in this day and age, with, we know our markets are doing this and all that kind of stuff, right now with current investments, and it's not aggressive investment growth, they're sitting at 12, 13, 14%. So that's how quickly your money is going to grow. That's the rule of 72. So that's where that comes from. And that's why investment is your stronger strategy than just letting it sit in a savings account or in your drawer, wherever.
Or in your
Under your mattress.
your freezer.
In your freezer, yeah. in the ice cube tray. So, as entrepreneurs, what's our biggest asset?
Ourselves.
Yeah,
Was that a question?
that was a question. It was, Anna. Thank you. So, you're absolutely right. It's yourselves. It's your ability to earn income. So investing in yourself and investing in your businesses will drive your wealth. So let's talk about the framework. And I'm going to flip through these pretty quickly, just because I don't want to linger too long on there and lose your interest in it. But there's 5 different steps when we're looking at a framework. So we need to make that decision. We need to make that decision of, we're going to go out and buy that home. Or we need to make that decision of, we're going to go on this trip. We're going to go on a world trip. It's going to cost us $50,000. We're going to make that decision to do that. After we've made that decision, now we want to sit down and form a plan on it. So great to have the decision and the goal, but how are we going to get there? So now we're going to sit down and we're going to write out a plan of how we're going to get to whatever or however many different decisions you are saving for, or your goals of what you want to do. After that, you got to step out and ask for guidance. If we're not in this field of expertise, we don't have all the answers. And working with a consultant or a planner or anything else, we have a lot of the answers. We don't always have all the answers, but we sure have a great networking group that we can reach out to and work together and collaborate with. I myself work with lawyers, accountants, notaries, realtors, different banks, different financial companies, because I don't have all the answers, and that's the beauty of what I do. I can help someone with their guidance, or your planners can help someone with the guidance, and then you just work out with the networking. So after you've asked for your guidance and you sit down and you do it, you have to embrace those changes. You may not like what the plan is or how you need to get to that plan. It may be cutting out going to dinner 8 times a month down to maybe 1 time a month. It may be, you know, doing a consolidation on your credit cards that are sitting at 19, 20, 21% and going and having it go into a consolidation loan that's going to save you thousands a month. I just sat down with someone who had about $25,000 in credit card debt. We sat down, we mapped out a plan, consolidated it. I was able to save them about $1,000 a month cash flow. So the weight that comes off their shoulder when we do that is really, really good. And also with that, you know, they had to make some other changes of not racking those credit cards up again, and the discipline of embracing that change. You can't just go out and use your credit card if you want to go to dinner if you don't have the cash in your account, or you don't have the ability to pay it off at the end of the month. So seeing people rise out of those situations just brings me a lot of joy. So then you execute on it. And execution is just what I talked about. We put the plan in place. We save the cash flow. People walk out feeling so much better. And the biggest thing is I see them walking out feeling confident, because not only have we built this whole plan, along the whole process of it, you've learned how finances work for you and the pros and cons of both sides of it. So when we sit back and we reflect on everything that I've talked about, and we sit back and we reflect on what we do on a daily basis, and I don't want answers to this, I just kind of want to give you some thinker things to think about as we move forward on this. So what would be something that you would improve in your finances if you had to think about something? So just sort of do some mind thought. That's, everybody's will have something different. So everything that you would do differently in your finances to improve your finances, know that there's a solution that comes to that reflection, and know that it is solvable. Everything is solvable if you just embrace it and take the plan. Something you hear me say quite often too is financial literacy is about confidence and control. That's the biggest thing. You can't do anything about it. If you don't know what you don't know, you can't fix it. And that's where that messaging comes from. The more you know, the better you'll be, and the more you'll grow in all that you do. So no pressure invitation. I'm going to give you a one-page handout about sort of recapping in one page what we've talked about today. If you or anybody you know is looking for even just someone to bounce ideas off, my contact's on there. I would appreciate that very much, because I can't do what I do without the support of the people I am surrounded by. And so the final decision is around understanding your finances and the decisions that you need to make sure that you grow your finances to what you want. And at the end of it all, we talked about why I do what I do, and I talked about the passion that I do it for the people that I work with, for the businesses, for the legacies, for all that kind of things. There's a really big part that I do as well, and anybody that knows me, this is my family. This is why I do what I do. This is my horse. That's my puppy. They're my little pride and joys. This is my grandson, our middle one, who has a passion for rodeo as well. He's a bull rider, professional bull rider down in Texas, going to school on a full scholarship, has just come home for the summer, and he's looking to potentially go back again to do more schooling, but he rides the pro circuit on bull riding when he's home. This is my granddaughter. She's all-round cowgirl. She's 14. She rides the rodeo circus as well for barrel racing. She does cowing. She does roping. She does goat tying. She does barrels. Does very well at it. This is my oldest grandson. That's Hayden. His fiance. They just got engaged in Banff 2 months ago. He's in business with me as a financial consultant. Also in rodeo, he just hung up his shoes. He's a protection cowboy, bullfighter, the ones you see out there protecting all the guys on the bulls. That's what he did. Still has a passion and a love for it. That's my lifelong partner, who is my best friend that I've spent the last 30 odd years with. And that's Glenn and me. So all of this builds who I am and my passion and my love. So thank you.
I couldn't help but notice the order of this, though.
Hit
Like and subscribe.